Hello everybody, time for another roundup of some good news around Southend and SCF. I've got a crib sheet in front of me this time because there are so many bits and pieces to this that I don't want to miss anything. So if I see me look down, I'm just looking at my crib sheet to make sure I don't forget anything. So first of all, some really good news stories from the Isaiah Project. One is that for some time now all the shops have reopened and are being well attended, and also all Isaiah staff are now back off furlough and no one has had to be dismissed following the whole COVID thing. So every staff member is still engaged in the project and serving the project. So grateful for that. Also, as a result of appealing for various grants as COVID began to bite, Isaiah has been able to provide 600 food parcels, not just for residents or people that Isaiah serves, but within the wider community as well, out of the contacts that Isaiah has. So 600 people or families or households have been blessed with food that Isaiah have been able to supply, which is a great news story. Also, during the course of the COVID lockdown, thoughts were going on about how can we continue to serve the residents, how can we meet people's needs, and this whole thing about getting outside, being able to meet outside, exercise, the mental health benefits of being out and doing something. So an allotment request was put in place, and on the day that they requested it, they were told they were 70th in the queue. 2 days later, there was a phone call or a message by some means to say, you've got your plot. And the community garden is up and running and beginning to take shape. Another great news story. And also during the course of COVID-19, the project has been able to house somebody despite all the restrictions and all that was going on. And this particular person is literally coming off the streets into residential accommodation, and that befriending process and being supported, which is a complete transformation of their life circumstances. So what great good news this is from the Isaiah Project. And then from a bit wider afield, within sort of Love Southend circles, heard of a church leader who told the story this week that a 16-year-old that he and the church have been connected with for some time asked to have a conversation with him and said that she wanted to be baptized, and they're going to take that forward. But the impressive thing for him about this is that, having tracked this young lady's life over many years, she has been through some really heartbreaking circumstances and has the potential to be really a classically very broken person. But as she talked about her reasons for being baptized, it became so evident that whatever she's been through, she has discovered the fathering love of God as the source of her strength and her healing and her protection. And although she has some way to go to be to sort of like get fully established in life, her testimony is that God has been really, really good to me, and I know him as my father, and I know he's watched over me all through the process. So what a great good news story that is. And the last one is from Ruth Verinder within Love Southend, who you know, or most of you watching this will know, has some really strong links with local police officers. And she discovered that Helen Yousaf's Hope Art was moving out of just hospitals and nursing care provision, but to wider emergency services. And that someone had donated some funds for packs to be made available for local police stations, police officers and police settings. So Ruth was in there like a shot, got her request in, got the pack sent. Ruth then spent some time crafting a letter, some of them personalised out of the relationships that she has with police officers, explaining the purpose of the posters, the heart behind the art, and the assurance of the ongoing prayers of the Christian community for the work they do. And she has had some tremendous response back from officers who have received them, and some of them very senior officers, both in Southend and in Essex, One said, "Thank you so much for this painting. It now has pride of place on my office wall." And another said, "I was so impressed with the quality of the artwork. Thank you so much for the prayers. And I've just got to work out where to put it in my office." So for all these ways there are of expressing the heart and the love and the presence of God with people and for people in these ways, we're really grateful. Trust that's really encouraged you. God bless you well.